With the arrival of FGO Thanksgiving 2021, a trio of popular 5-star servants have received animation updates. Okita Soji, Skata, and Jack the Ripper. But there are many more servants on the JP server, boasting new animations, improved sprites, and revamped noble phantasms just waiting to be implemented worldwide. Here are 5 free-to-play servants with animation updates to look forward to. He came. He saw. They gave him 3 stars. While Caesar's class and rarity may well be up for debate, one thing is not. His model and animations are absolutely dreadful, perpetually smelling his own farts and wielding what can only be described as discount Excalibur. He is cursed with first-year abominations for animations, his attacks consisting of generic vertical swings of his sword, flailing around with little power or impact. These problems extend into his noble phantasm, the land of blurry JPEGs. He announces himself with perhaps his most famous quotation. He then proceeds to once again swing his sword up and down, but this time faster, with all the feeling and weight of a deflated balloon. Needless to say, this is not a noble phantasm befitting one of Europe's greatest historical figures. But there is hope on the horizon. Gone will be the ill-fitting model and remarkably ungolden sword, replaced by a figure superior in every way. His first-year attack animations are a thing of the past, with each and every strike teeming with power, style, and grace. Whether he is attacking an enemy, commanding his legion, or impersonating Sonic, he moves with fluidity fitting of a servant with B-rank agility. His skill animations have also been updated, from a desire to stare at his own sword, to a reflection of the charisma magnet that was Gaius Julius Caesar. And his noble phantasm? It's finally out of the darkness. Consistently unreliable and useless to a fault, Musashi Benkei, if that is indeed your real name, is in many ways deserving of the first-year animations he receives. His offense ignores the litany of diverse and interesting weapons on his back in favour of gently prodding enemies with an oversized scalpel. A candidate for being the worst servant in the game, he also has among the worst animations, yet another in a long line of incentives not to use him. And yet, even this man has been blessed with an animation update, and it is indeed a thing to behold. He now attacks with gravitas and majesty, every strike looking as though it does the great damage the damage counter says it doesn't. His skill animations, which were admittedly the highlight of his previous self, have also been revamped to greater effect. But what of his noble phantasm? Well, the current one can be best described as a blinding experience, but that too is no more, replaced by an almost spiritual beauty. Still, it was good of DW to remind us that even with renewed animations and a legitimately beautiful noble phantasm, he's still trapped. His animation update video shows his NP missing. Benkei's animation update is truly impressive, but does come with a downside. You'll actually have to use him to see it. Like his predecessors on this list, Hector is afflicted with first-year animations. Like Caesar, his skill animations have a fascination with his own weapon, while like Benkei, his attacks can at best be described as gentle jabs. He doesn't put much effort in behind each strike, perhaps fitting for a man so apparently laid back. But in truth, such animations are unworthy of the Guardian of Troy, as is the current state of his noble phantasm.
Why are we still here? suffer.
The animations of which were seemingly sourced from Windows 98. Thankfully, a system update is due in the very near future. The man of the shining helmet, who does not wear it, is soon to be revitalized. He finally gets to display his amazing skill and technique with Jirindana, even making good use of that rocket of a right arm. And as for his noble phantasm, it looks significantly better. A far more fitting finishing blow for Hector of the 9 Worthies. Tragically sidelined and often outright forgotten, Boudica perhaps had it even worse than most of the servants on this list. In addition to having bland and generic first-year animations, she is forced to work alongside her greatest enemy, and she was given a skill that can only be described as developer trolling. And as for her noble phantasm, her chariot of Boudica has been reduced to mere wagon wheels, circling hopelessly in the darkness. Which makes it all the more remarkable that she finally has the chance to live up to her moniker as the Queen of Victory, with an animation update to be proud of. While she still lacks her infamous ferocity, her attacks are sleek and focused, and she even has her own variant of a beam! But most of all, the chariot of Boudica now features, well, a chariot. And her new NP is an absolute joy. She rides her chariot to inspire her allies amidst the background of the stars. Ushiwakamaru, Minamoto no Yoshitsune, one of Japan's most legendary heroes. So what the hell is this? Continuing her bad luck into her servant life, she has first-year animations unbecoming of such a fearless and talented warrior. Her techniques reduced to sword pokes, vertical swipes, and pedestrian downwards jabs. But even worse, this model is... Who is this? And why is she so small? As for her noble phantasm, a recreation of her famed 8-boat leap at the Battle of Dan no Ura, which seemingly takes place against a background scorched by the sun, it is slightly underwhelming given the scale of the feat. For such a popular heroic spirit who is also an excellent servant in-game, this is particularly noticeable. Which is why I am happy to announce that she has an animation update in the works. She now darts through the sky at supersonic speeds, slicing and dicing her enemies with enthusiasm and vigor. Her skill animations, formerly of the sword-staring variety, are now unique and athletic, brimming with excitement. And most importantly, she finally gets the noble phantasm she deserves. Thank you for watching. I've been Soonjunes. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me if you want a part 2 of this video. There are many other exciting animation updates to come, including many for free-to-play servants that I wasn't able to talk about here. I've been Soonjunes, and thank you for watching.